Hello internet, hello friends and family if you're watching this. I'm going to say a lot. Last weekend, I actually have something to talk about. I was at Motorsport Days live at the Silverstone racetrack. Never been there before. I've been to Brands Hatch about 20 times. Was up there courtesy of Richard Morris and Chris Sharp of Racing Pride, so I was helping them with their stand, promoting Racing Pride, say just promoting LGBT people in motorsport, because hey, it should be your ability on track that decides how good you are in motorsport and not your sexuality or your gender. Yeah, so while I was up there, ran into a few people that I'd met at Brands Hatch, Jess Shanahan and Charlie Martin. So the first time I met Charlie Martin, I was super shy, but this time was a little bit better. I wasn't quite so shy this time. I bumped into Charlie whilst I was at a seminar for how to better attract sponsors. You know, don't just tell sponsors, please fund me to race because it's my passion and I love it. You have to kind of make businesses realise why it's good business sense for them to sponsor you. So yeah, I totally get that. And say my whole YouTube thing is kind of part of me trying to build an audience, because please give me money to go racing. Yeah, so I took my simulator up as well. Racing Pride asked if they could borrow my simulator. I said yeah, we sort of ran a competition. I set a lap in a Super Formula at the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit on Gran Turismo Sport, and we had a competition that whoever beat it would get a W Series art print of mine. That unfortunately I wasn't able to get Sarah Moore to sign one in time, but it was signed by me. That's just as good, right? Yeah, it was quite weird. Nobody throughout the day beat my time. I set a 1:06, and I think one of the closest times was actually Charlie Martin's. I think she set a 1:08. I have a feeling that had she more time, she likely would have beaten my time, say, given her experience. Another highlight of the weekend was Williams. The Williams Formula 1 team have an esport division, and they were at Motorsport Days live. I wandered over to them on Friday, but none of the Williams people were there. It was just a separate company called Events House that were just in charge of running the event for Williams. I must have been quite annoying going, when are the Williams guys turning up sort of every hour? The response was, they kind of should be here, we don't know what's happened to them. For most of the day, I managed to top the leaderboard. So, challenge for you, at Dragon Trail on Gran Turismo Sport, using the Mercedes AMG Group 3 car, my best time, so I only did 10 laps, my best time was 1:38.8. I'm not a Group 3 driver, I'm not a GT car driver, I like cars with downforce. I'm getting my driver's excuses in, okay? I was on top of the leaderboard for most of the day. There was about 30 other people on the leaderboard with times from 1:39 to 1:50. So I was a very smug, happy little bunny at the top of it most of the day. Returned back after, I think Charlie had done her testing, and I had been pushed down to 3rd position. A couple guys had just gotten a few tenths of a second on me. I was like, no, that's okay. I could probably beat them. Give me another 10 laps. Because more drivers' excuses. I couldn't hear the car very well, and they left the background music in the game, which is weird. That's something I always turn off. It's quite distracting. And when you're doing a time trial, they'd left the ghost mode on. So I'm trying to beat my ghost, which is going through my car and then preventing me from seeing the braking point properly. But say I'll probably give it another go here at home, because at the end of Saturday, before we all packed down for the weekend, the Williams sim driver Adam Saswillo came along and decided to show us all up and show us what the Williams sim drivers can do. He did a 1:36.2, a good 2.5 seconds faster than me. So he did say, we can't all be good at every sim. I specialise in iRacing, he obviously specialises in GT Group 3 cars in Gran Turismo Sport. Yeah, congratulations Adam, but that gives me a marker, that gives me a target to aim for. So this week I'll see how close to 1:36.2 I can get before I approach Williams properly about a sim racing position. At the end of Saturday night, I was invited out to drinks with the Racing Pride guys, which was really lovely. Richard, Chris and Charlie. But yeah, it was really nice food, really great company. It's not often I get to talk about racing and not have the person next to me fall asleep, bored, or just going, what does that mean? What does that mean? And just trying to get away from me. So I only had the hotel for one night. I stayed at the Silverstone Golf Club and Hotel. I will give them a plug because it was such a gorgeous hotel, such a clean hotel. The staff were really friendly, and it was literally just over the road from the track. Like, Travelodge was 5 miles up the road, and they wanted to charge me £150. But the Silverstone Golf Club Hotel was just over the road from the track, and they were only charging me £85. And it was immaculate. Like, I will definitely go back. I can only imagine in summer when the Formula 1 comes around, they must sell out pretty fast. On to Saturday, where Charlie had her drive. I made sure to get lots of footage for her. Again, invited out for drinks at the White Horse pub, so it's in the Silverstone village, less than a mile away from the track. Really cute little pub, full of motorsport memorabilia, a lot of it from Force India. Really lovely Charlie. She then invited me to stay over at her house because I only had a hotel booked for one night, but she invited me to stay over. She was less than an hour drive away, whereas my place is a good 3.5 hour drive away. The plan was to sit up late watching Days of Thunder. That didn't happen. We just talked racing until maybe midnight, just gone mid. So in the morning, after staying at Charlie's house, she gifted me this amazing piece of artwork that is part of her Patreon. I think if you're a Patreon backer, you get a copy of this print. It was like an original acrylic on canvas, and it says, "Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way." And I need to frame this, but I think it's one of those awkward sizes, like 36 by 32 centimeters, where IKEA don't do a frame that size, so I'm gonna have to get one custom built. But it's just such a gorgeous print. So that was a lovely surprise. But then when I got home, I opened the poster tube and something was rattling and fell out, and back to camera, very bad. And it was just a Polaroid, and she just sort of written this little lovely message. To Cammie, keep being awesome and kicking butt at sim racing. And yeah, when I got home, that really touched me because I'm quite an anxious person. I'm always worried, I'm probably annoying this person. I'm talking too much. I'm saying the wrong thing. I'm being too clingy. So yeah, when I got home, I kind of welled up. Had a teensy bit of a cry because it was just really touching. Because I try not to go up to drivers and say, "Oh my god, can I have your autograph? Selfie," because I kind of think I don't like to do it. I think it's a bit tacky. I'm sure it gets irritating for drivers a little bit. As a sim driver, I try to approach them as an equal professional. I don't want to just be shouting their name across the room to try and get their attention and begging for autographs. So for Charlie to give me this, I was like, yeah, when it's valuable, I'll just, when she's won Le Mans 24 Hours and it's really valuable, then I'll flog it on eBay. Yeah, no. This is going by my sim rig in the living room, so every time I get into the seat to go sim racing, I'll remember to keep kicking butt. So that's it. The video is coming up to 12 minutes. I could talk forever more, but I've got a cup of tea here that needs drinking. So thanks for watching, guys, and hope to see you all out on the track.